One thing I want to ask you though, because you brought it up before, how Donald Trump was able to appeal more than any other Republican to specifically black men, right? Now, I don't know when it started to happen. I think it could have happened before 2016, but I think I started to hear it after 2016, or maybe I was just paying attention to it more, where the Democrats started to say this thing that black women were the backbone of the Democratic Party. And I thought that was interesting because, like, yes, black women vote at like a 98 clip for Democrats, but black men are right there at like 96 or 95 or 94, whatever it is. Like, it's still like a high 90.
Right.
So I was like,
right.
there's no distinction that needs to be made between black men and black women. So it was just an odd thing for me to hear, right? So I thought nothing of it. Then, years go by and you start hearing it more and more. That, the black follow black women, black women are, and I was like, this is strange. And then I was thinking, women outvote men in every demographic, white, black, Hispanic. So it can't be that, because that exists everywhere. But I'm only hearing this about black people, that black women are the backbone and black women lead, and black women are the moral authority. And you hear it now too, where people, a lot of black elite will say, listen to black women, or black women. Trevor Noah, when he signed off on his last episode, he was like, that he's had success in his career because he always listened to black women, and they'll let you know. It's just been this weird thing going on. And I'm like, why is this? There's this thing on the left of kind of singling out black women separate from black men, even though we look at the voting patterns, like we're right there. Like, now there is this growing thing happening, but that wasn't happening back when they started saying this thing that, black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. Or maybe it was. What's happening here?
It seems to me like when I saw that whole thing going on, it was a lot of pandering. I mean, they wanted to make themselves look good. Oh, yeah, we love black women. Yeah, we really respect black women. And I think they were just basically using black women to appeal to their base. I don't think that there was anything serious about it. But in a lot of ways, that kind of backfired, especially with Stacey Abrams. She was getting a lot of flack for not demeaning, but like diminishing the importance of black men. And she tried to turn that around, but she did. I mean, she still got most of the black vote in general, but still, I think especially with black men, I mean, black men are very entrepreneurial. We don't really need to rely on the 9 to 5, or we don't want to. I mean, I think a lot of black men would rather have their own companies, run their own businesses.
Like most men,
huh?
Like most men, just like black men are like most men, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And Republican values appeal. Well, what Republicans say they believe appeals appeals more to that. And so I think what's happening is that black men in particular are becoming more dissatisfied with the Democratic Party. And it's not that they were voting for Democrats because they loved them so much. I think that black women are more likely to like the Democratic Party, but black men will just vote for them just because, that they don't have a place. They don't believe they have a place in the Republican Party. But I think that this growing dissatisfaction, even among Hispanic men too, is leading them to give Republicans a chance. And I think we saw that in these past midterm elections. So yeah, I think that Democrats love to pander, and they use black people and other marginalized groups to virtue signal in a way that they think is going to get them more support. So I think that's where the whole, it's all about black women came from.
But my thing is, here's what's confusing to me. If you were going to pander, why not just say black people? Because once again, I'm obsessed with this point, because they don't do it with anybody else. Like they don't separate Hispanic women from Hispanic. They just say Latino or Hispanics.
Latinx.
Latinx. With us though, they're doing this thing where they're kind of separating us by gender that I don't see them doing with other people, and that is strange to me. Like, why not just pander to black people like you do other communities, but with us, it's they're doing it by gender.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly why they're doing it that way. Maybe they believe that black women can be made to look more sympathetic, so it makes them look better by caring about them. I don't know what's going into this, honestly, because it is a little weird. But this stuff is all calculated, so I don't know what numbers they ran to say, hey, if we talk about black women and specifically, this might help us. Let's try it out. I don't think it's worked out all that well for them, but there is a method to this madness, and it has nothing to do with caring about black women.
Yeah, and so at least we agree that I'm like, there's something else going on.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is yet. And to your point, they have all of these, like they have numbers we don't even know about, like of what. So, but I'm trying to figure it out now. I do think one theory I have is because and blame is a strong word, so I'm not gonna say blame. I think black women are the ones that are kind of introducing a lot of this super liberal stuff into the community, though. Like, you look at Lizzo and how she's kind of, put on this pedestal to, make obesity normal. She did she I think she was in Nashville. She brought out all the drag queens.
right.
So I'm like, okay. And black women are significantly more sympathetic to that stuff than black men are. I talk to black dudes all the time. They're like, this shit is fucking weird. Like they're like, when, and I said like, when did, like, drag queens have been around forever.
Yeah.
But when did they start being like Dr. Seuss and shit, wanting to read
right, exactly.
like this stuff is strange to me, but black women seem to be more. So I think maybe that's one of the reasons why they're doing this putting black women on a pedestal, because they can introduce a lot of this other stuff into the community. And because men are so weak in general, it's not just a black thing. I think men are probably the weakest we've ever been at any point in history right now in America. We will go along with anything out of fear of women not liking what we have to say. Like, dudes are so afraid to, especially black dudes, right? Like, it is hard to find a black woman who will like date you if she finds out you ain't really down with like the Democratic Party. And that I think that fear keeps, because there's a lot of men who are Republicans in the closet though. Like, they'll never say it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
When they get in that booth, they'll vote, or when they're away from their wives or their girlfriends and it's just boys, it's like, you sound a lot different than when we around your girl. And so, like, there's a lot of black dudes that are just terrified. But to me, I think that's like, you're a coward. Like, if you see things that you think are despicable, as a man, you should say it. Be honest. You can be honest and empathetic at the same time, but speak your genuine mind on these issues. Exactly. And I think a lot of now I'm around black people, so I see it amongst black men, but I'm sure this is just as true among white men, and because like men generally speaking are not, like you said, we're like more into listen, I want to be entrepreneur and economics. We vote a lot of economics. All this other stuff, men ain't really like obsessed with a lot of this other stuff. So that's been my theory.